Have you ever wondered what things could lie below the surface of the ground or oceans in remote and ancient places? Some very strange things have been discovered that have led to incredible surprises from the past, including ancient civilizations that possessed some very advanced technology. And after seeing some incredible ancient marvels of architecture and engineering, some are wondering where the technology came from. So grab your passport and get ready to go on an adventure to see some incredible things. Qanats of Gonabad, Iran. Beneath the dusty deserts of Iran lie ancient water tunnels which are called Qanats. These 3,000-year-old aqueducts have been called marvels of engineering, and many of them are still in use today. During the Iron Age, when water was found in an elevated place by surveyors, workers would then cut long, sloping tunnels from the source of water to where it was needed. Holes along the tops of the tunnels were cut to release dust and provide air to the workers who dug the Qanats by hand. Some of these tunnels stretch 40 miles long. In fact, the combined length of the thousands of tunnels is about the same distance between Earth and the Moon. At the end of the tunnels lie vivid oases. The construction of the Qanats wasn't an easy task as they had to be built with great precision. The angle of the tunnel's slope had to be steep enough to allow the water to flow freely without stagnating. But if the tunnels were too steep, water would flow with too much force and erosion would collapse the tunnel. The Qasbe Qanat of Gonabad, which is also called Karis Kai Khosrow, is one of the oldest and largest Qanats in the world. It was built between 700 and 500 BC. Located in Gonabad, Iran, this Qanat contains 427 water wells with a total length of 67.5 miles. Some of the unique features of this Qanat is its ancient construction method, management system, and structural technique. You might think that it makes sense to start at the water source and dig the tunnel down. However, this Qanat was built starting at the bottom where the water was needed and digging the tunnel upward to the source. Of course, this method is an incredibly difficult task which required precise navigation calculation, not to mention the very demanding desert working conditions. The Qasbe Qanat is the deepest Qanat in Iran. During the Persian period, water clocks were also used and were the most accurate and commonly used timekeeping device for calculating the amount of time that a farmer must take water from the Qanats of Gonabad. In the year 2005, the Iranian government and UNESCO signed an agreement to preserve these engineering marvels and protect the knowledge and experience in regards to Qanat technology. The preservation of this historical structure is a very important part of the country's history, in which places that were desert wastelands were turned into beautiful green desert oases. Mysterious stone structure beneath the Sea of Galilee. Beneath the Sea of Galilee in Israel, a giant stone structure was discovered in the summer of 2003. The monumental stone cone or pyramid is made of unhewn basalt cobbles and boulders. The entire structure is said to weigh an estimated 60,000 tons. It rises off the seafloor at 32 feet and has a diameter of 230 feet. To give you an idea of just how big that is, Stonehenge has a diameter of just half that size. The thing is, no one knows what it is, who constructed it, or even the reason why. It appears to be rocks piled on top of one another and could have been used to mark a mass burial gravesite. The boulders have natural faces with no signs of cutting or chiseling. It might even seem to some that it's a natural structure, but it is indeed human-made. The reason for this is because the closest deposit of the basalt zone is over a mile away. It is estimated that the stone structure is about 4,000 to 6,000 years old and was likely built on dry land before the waters of the Sea of Galilee rose, which then covered the monument. There are different theories of what it could be, and some have said it could be an ancient calendar, or an even more ceremonial structure called a sky burial, in which the fallen were placed high upon the stone mounds to be picked apart by vultures. Israel was supposed to investigate the site further to find out if it was indeed a burial ground. However, the only way to do this would be to take the stone pyramid apart to get to the bottom, and since it's covered by the sea, it makes it a daunting task. We'd like to know what you think it is. Let us know in the comments. Underground city of Derinkuyu. When it comes to beautiful natural wonders, the underground city of Derinkuyu is one to behold. It is an ancient place that was once home to 20,000 people. It is one of the largest underground cities in the world and is located in Turkey's Cappadocia region. It is one of over 200 subterranean cities that was carved out of volcanic rock. The city is connected to other underground settlements by tunnels that stretch for miles. One of the things that makes the city so impressive is its depth of over 250 feet below the surface of the ground. The other impressive thing is the organization that was in place that met the demands of the huge population living underground. It is believed that the underground city was started by an Indo-European people, the Phrygians, in the 8th to 7th centuries BC. One of the interesting things is that when the population became Christian in Roman times, chapels started to pop up in the underground city, and it is thought that the Christian population used this underground city to escape persecution by the Romans. It is known that during the Byzantine period is when the underground city flourished. During the Arab-Byzantine Wars, which happened from 780 to 1180, Derinkuyu was used as a refuge for Muslim Arabs. It was during this time that the long and dark tunnels connecting the subterranean cities were built. However, there is another theory that the ancient Anatolian Hittites used the area to flee invading enemies around the 15th century BC. This city was hidden for a long time until 1963, when during a renovation of a surface home, a wall caved in and an underground room that led to a subterranean passageway opened up. The ancient city has been open to the public since 1965 and is now a well-known tourist attraction. Only 8 of the 18 levels are viewable, but much of the architecture is still in place. As previously mentioned, the city was likely used for defensive purposes, and large stone discs can be seen sitting in their places, which could be moved to barricade doors. The stone discs had holes in them which were believed to be used to shoot arrows through. It is thought this is the first invention of the peephole that modern doors now have. It is not possible to open the doors from the outside, and they could only be opened and closed from the inside. This meant that the inhabitants had complete control over the complex. The passages were also so narrow that people had to walk in single file to get through them, making it much easier to defend against invaders. Within the enormous 18 levels of the city, researchers found kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms, food storage rooms, oil and wine presses, water wells, storage areas for weapons, churches, schools, tombs, and stables for different animals like horses and cows. More than 50 ventilation shafts brought in fresh air from above, and those connected to thousands of smaller air ducts that took fresh air throughout the city. Some archaeologists believe that there is a 5-mile-long passageway that connects Derinkuyu to another city called Kemakli. The city had its own water containment system, and none of the wells linked together, nor did any of them go to the surface. This protected the inhabitants from intruders who might have thought to poison the water system from the outside. It might also be worth mentioning that Derinkuyu protected its inhabitants from extreme weather, which was very hot in the summer and extremely cold during the winter, in which temperatures fluctuated wildly. The temperature underground was found to be a stable year-round 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which was ideal for keeping the animals cool, keeping the water fresh, and also keeping all food fresh and cool. Derinkuyu is an amazing place and gives any traveler a glimpse into what it was like living in ancient times. Ethiopian rock churches of Lalibela. Lalibela is a famous place that is known for its 11 medieval churches, of which all are cut into the very rock that surrounds them. These incredible structures are said to have been carved out of rock during the 25-year reign of King Lalibela. However, many archaeologists say that it wasn't possible the churches were built in a 25-year period. The inside and outside of the churches are carved from soft volcanic rock, and their architecture is incredibly diverse. Some of the churches stand as giant blocks in deep pits, while others are cut into the face of a mountain cliff. The story of how the churches were constructed is interesting in that when the workers were finished for the day and had put down their tools, the angels came and worked the night shift and, being angels, worked twice as fast as the human workers. This is what many believed, but some of the oldest rock-hewn features may date back to the 7th and 8th centuries. It is also said that the angels were the ones who came and asked Lalibela to build the churches, and both the men and the angels worked together. All 11 of the churches are arranged into 2 groups and are connected with passageways that are 36 feet deep. All of the churches were built by laborers that dug down into an outcrop and carved a trench around a single giant block of rock. Even though they stood against the ravages of time and harsh weather, many of the main churches are now protected from the elements by sheet metal and metal supports, which were built by UNESCO. If you are interested in seeing some incredible ancient architecture, these 11 medieval churches should definitely be on your travel list. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments which one of these places was your favorite. If you liked the video, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you will be the first to know when a new video comes out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.